You and me can fight a bad romance. Ho, 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 ho. What's going on, Jerome's? So Thursday Night Football was way better of a game than we deserved on Thursday night. Jumpin' Joe Flacco and the Bengals, woo, woo, taking down the steel curtain. The whiteout game, which plays really well in Cincinnati, and the Unk Bowl delivered, as Rodgers and Flacco are combined like 90,000 years old. Also, we need a ruling on this. Is mainstream allowed to use the word unk? I don't know. But Rodgers, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, by the way. But Jumpin' Joe Flacco, 342 and 3. Right. And during the game, of course, the local media jackals, where Barrero did not need him. And Barrero's certainly had a hard-on for Rodgers and the Vikings all offseason. It's been kind of a big deal, right? But I feel like sports talk media in the Twin Cities, like it's PA, and then it's just straight up trolling. Maybe that's why I love it here. But he lost, bro. Unless he's talking about Flacco, maybe. But Rodgers as a Viking, that's a talking point that's happened all off season long. And Monday morning quarterback, whether it's Rodgers, whether it's Daniel Jones, whether it's Sam Darnold, it's all that stuff, right? So second guessing. Oh, the Vikings should have done this. Oh, the Vikings should have done that. And of course, it's off season. The summer, I turned petty against Diana Rossini. Just mortal enemies now. It happens, man. Because us Vikings fanboys have to come to grips that Rodgers is going to be here. Nah. And Kevin O'Connell did admit that Rodgers reached out to him. There wasn't any formal interest from the team, but Rodgers reached out to him and the Vikings like, please, sir, may I have a job? Nah, didn't work out because the Vikings, frankly, made the right Rodgers decision in both cases this offseason. No problem. Zay, I love you, man. Nah. And of course, the Vikings rolling with J.J. McCarthy. Basically, I'm gonna straight up say it. Some of y'all do not deserve this demon, right? But the decision to roll with J.J. McCarthy has been muddled by the high ankle sprain, and Carson Wentz has come in and filled in great, but it's still TBD. And I understand the Vikings fans' frustration because Rodgers you're tossing the pill out here, 4 touchdowns. You look at Sam Darnold doing well. Daniel Jones is playing at MVP caliber level, but Rodgers, I feel like the media is massively overblowing Aaron Rodgers this season. Pun intended, and not shocker, right? And yeah, obviously the Vikings saw him up close and personal week 4. There hasn't been anything that he's been doing this season that's been overly impressive. Now, of course, everyone's saying, but did you see him throw the ball 69 yards? Yeah, incompletion to lose the game. No problem, right? But also, it hasn't been the old Aaron Rodgers. One throw does not make a season because if you look at it, Rodgers has been Charlie Checkdown this season, 5.8 yards a dot, 30th among 30 qualifying quarterbacks. And would Kevin O'Connell have adjusted to the quick game, like Arthur Smith and the Steelers have? Don't know. And as you know, Kevin O'Connell likes to throw the pill downtown Julie Brown. I don't think stylistically that would have synced up. Now, would Kevin O'Connell made changes? Probably. Right, but also you look at the offensive line. So under pressure this season, Rodgers put up a 59.1 PFF grade, which is 27 out of 30 qualifying quarterbacks. Also, in general, Rodgers' PFF grade has been pretty low, and that's been a sticking point where people have been mad at PFF about his grade. But again, obviously, we watched every snap of Rodgers against the Vikings. We watched the majority of them in some of these other games as well, and he's not reinventing the wheel. Like, honestly, some of his performance is akin to Bo Nix last year, just putting the ball in play and then just going from there, dinking and dunking. You have defenses just playing shell, and it's not vintage Rodgers. He's been serviceable, but he's not a quarterback who's going to threaten to win you a ball game down the stretch. Like he's not a quarterback that's going to threaten to win the Super Bowl either. Like here's what's funny too. Like the Steelers. After the Steelers beat the Vikings, where you have this too, where you follow some content from the other team, get some injury updates throughout the week, and then after the game, it's just you still see stuff because it's stuck in your algorithm. And the Steelers beat writers after week 4, when they're heading into the bye, it was just non-stop Super Bowl, blah, 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 just patting themselves on the back. They're like, Renegade, da Super Bowl, da 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 da. Shut up. Permanente brothers and all that stuff. Nonsense, right? But then, so they beat the Browns. Cool. We also beat the Browns. And then the Bengals, where, hey, congratulations for lighting up possibly the worst defense in the National Football League. You saw what the Vikings did to the Bengals week 3 and Carson Wentz. No big deal, right? But also, you didn't even have Trey Hendrickson for this game. So, literally, zero goose egg, D'Angelo Russell pass rush, and Rodgers back there playing 7-on-7. Okay, good job. Congratulations. Good times, man. But now everything with the Steelers, the sky is falling. Skyfall. He's been fine. He's not a game changer. Rodgers won't win a Super Bowl, and also he's not the future. So that's the thing here. Rodgers was not going to be the missing piece here. And again, he's been terrible under pressure. 4 of his 5 picks have been under duress. And the way that the Vikings offensive line, especially the first 2 weeks with J.J. McCarthy, but 14 different O-line combinations, you think Rodgers would have been all sunshine and unicorns if he was constantly getting hit. Yeah. Also, you saw him getting tackled by his offensive tackle, which is hilarious, man. But Rodgers under duress would have made mistakes. Quick game wouldn't have been there. Kevin O'Connell still would have dialed up these long developing downfield plays where he didn't have protection for, because that's what he did with J.J. McCarthy. No big deal. So how long would the honeymoon have lasted? Not long, right? So basically, what would happen is if the Vikings went with Rodgers, it would have delayed J.J. McCarthy for another season. There would already be calls for J.J. McCarthy to start over old-ass bird bones Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers would be pissed about the protection. He'd probably retire and then go smoke crack in a cave. And I think the Steelers fans are about to see the other side of it, because the honeymoon is over. 100% Rodgers is going to get Tomlin fired, because if Rodgers comes back for another season, it's not going to be with Tomlin. And I feel like even though the Steelers historically have been, they've had 3 coaches, Noel, Cowher, Tomlin since 1969, which is impressive, but I feel like Rodgers will break this team apart. And he's not that guy anymore. Also, I will say this, Barrera, maybe the Vikings made a mistake, did not need him. They're talking about Flacco. Because all off season, like we had it on good authority that Flacco, he was unsigned. The Vikings didn't pick up a backup quarterback. That Flacco had a wink nudge agreement here with the Vikings to come aboard. But then he went to the Browns and won the starting job. That very akin to the Daniel Jones situation. Can't really blame him. And now look what he's doing, right? And then the Vikings just moved on to Carson Wentz, which also I believe was another. Hey, buddy. Hey, man. Situation. So, again, I understand that it's very easy to look at these Lulu, because Rodgers straight up lost. At the end of the day, he lost. But you put up some nice Lulu numbers. Cool. Awesome. So, we could have had a lot of that. Some nice frou-frou numbers, but then the Vikings lose. So, what do I happen? At least that's what I tell myself. Because I have to let the hate flow through me. Good. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. No, the Vikings did not make a mistake with Aaron Rodgers this offseason. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts. Comment section. You guys are the best you know what to do. Skol, production value.